this video, I'm recording what I'm going to be doing to replace the fuel injectors. Later this morning, it's currently 2:40 in the morning. I woke up, couldn't get back to sleep, so I decided to work on this, and then I'll take a nap before rearranging the garage and starting. This is for my Toyota. It's a V6 3.4 liter. It's a 5VZ-FE. We're going to replace 6 fuel injectors. I'll show you that later. Hopefully some of the video of me performing it. The manifold torque for the nuts and bolts is 13 foot-pounds. The fuel rail on either end is 25 foot-pounds. I'm going to make sure I tape over the intake manifold once I get everything disconnected. I'm going to start by disconnecting the battery. I'm going to remove the plenum. They call it an air hose. I'll show you that. Disconnect throttle body cables. I hope to show you that, and some other connectors as we get there. Then I'm going to remove the throttle body, set it aside, work on the ground and diag port, which is on the driver's side. If you ever have something that runs rough and your gauges don't work right, it can be this ground next to the diag port. That happened to me years ago. Disconnect some ECT wires, and of course the fuel injector wires. The rails that bolt down, there's 4 bolts, and they're 10 foot-pounds. And I plan on removing the fuel hose to the pressure regulator. Not taking the regulator out. At least that's my going in plan. Okay. This is the book I use. It's volume 2 of the 1999 repair manual. Let's see, the first page here. I came in, if you look down here, at the bottom it says you got Newton meters and then bracket and KFGCMs and foot-pounds. So when you look at that, this is 13 foot-pounds. Throttle torque body is 13 pounds. If you take a look, when we disconnect and reconnect, all these are 13 foot-pounds, so they're all basically, and take a look, the same. They don't say anything about the wire protectors, and when you see mine, all that stuff is kind of broke away. All right, there's no plenum here, so you're gonna see that it's 13 foot-pounds. Turning the page, let's see, is that, hopefully that's working and you can see it all right. Go back one page, put this on, sorry. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, right here, if you take a look, this is how we're gonna disconnect the cables for the throttle. You don't need any tools. You basically just loosen spin the throttle body around and disconnect the cables, and they both work the same way. I'll crack the nut loose here so we can remove the cable. That's how I did it the last time. Continuing on, over here you can see a picture of the throttle body, and I think we may have one a little clear, but there are 4 nuts that hold that together, and I'm going to remove those. Right here, there's the diagnostics port and the cable with the ground that I said was loose on one occasion and gave me some erroneous readings. You can see the intake pipes, all the nuts and bolts that have to be removed there and torqued down to 13. And then on the other side, this is a good video of, or good picture of how it works. It comes down, around, and goes straight down. And then once this is removed, we're going to tape over the intake so nothing can fall into it. Let's see, continuing on, they show some fuel injector connectors we need to disconnect, the ECT temperature before we can pull the fuel rail. come on over to another page. We take a look. When we get to my unit, you will see this is a special tool that you have. It says torque to 25 foot-pounds when you install it. It's basically on the end of the fuel rail. You put it on this one. What I did with my truck is I came up, and there's another video you can see where I put a Schrader valve in place. So I actually have a Schrader valve here if I need to check the fuel pressure, which you would have seen in a previous video of mine when I was trying to fix the reason cylinder number 2 wasn't working. All right, moving on. We have a picture of the fuel pressure regulator right here. I plan on removing the fuel return hose, I do believe, at one point or the other. I don't want to disconnect the fuel pressure regulator. If you do, you torque it to 71 inch foot-pounds, and that's very light. Inch-pounds, that would be about 3 foot-pounds, well, 3 foot-pounds, 36, I don't know. Do the math. But anyway, I do not plan on removing that if I don't have to, and I didn't the last time. Now, coming over here, we have the cleaner that we're going to start with. You see you have some connections there. All of these are 13 inch-pounds, but we're going to start off by removing the air cleaner hose, then the throttle body, setting the throttle body aside. You see we have the cables up here. All right, cables up here that we disconnect to get the throttle body off. Then we're going to, looks like air assist hose here possibly. We'll see. I don't know if I had to do that. I think that may lay across inside of here. So if that's the case, we may have to disconnect it. I think that's the case. I think they're solid hoses, but it's been 4 years since I've had to do this operation. Okay, vacuum sensing lines, but go ahead and take a look at that. Give it a second. You may want to stop the recording so you can get a shot of all that in the torques. There you go. Okay, moving on, you see what the fuel rail looks like over here. All right, and when you get in, you see the 2 fuel rails. They're put together by these nuts, and you see that hole there. And that's how the fuel comes in, goes through the rail, or comes out, one way or the other. I do believe that's the, oh, here's the input of the fuel line over here. So it goes in, I don't know, comes in on the high side and goes out on the low side. And the regulator here probably regulates it so it has the 38 or 40 pounds of pressure on the fuel, and then this is a fuel return line. So this is the high side, this is the low side. You see here that the 4 nuts, bolts that hold down the fuel rail are set to 10 foot-pounds, and these are nylon or plastic, so you need to go easy and not crush them. You have the fuel injectors and the insulator, the O-rings. You'll see those a little later in this video when I set all the hardware I have, so I can complete the operation without having to run to the parts store. If you take a look over here, you can start reading their steps on how to do it, but you can also watch, hopefully, the video. We'll see. That's my plan. On this page over here, I'm going to give you time to record it. I'm not going to do any of this testing because they're a don't care as far as I'm concerned. I know how it's failing. I've had bad fuel injectors before, and I did all the electrical testing, changed the spark plugs, the fuel pressure is good, and what it is, a mechanical problem in fuel injectors that simply are not working. Or I could have one that's like over here and leaking. But regardless, I have a set of 6 you'll see from a company that I bought them from. And I'll explain it later. But I got them from Motor West Performance. Right, we turn the page. There's more on how you install the injectors, and this is for temporary. I'll give you time to torque that down. Not torque it up, to record it. And it talks about the torques. You should see me do that, how you rotate them and get them to set in, then you put in the rail and you torque it all down. Here's the part where you connect the inlet pipe. And that's basically it. So I'm gonna set out my parts, make sure I have them, and then take a break and then go clean the garage at some point this morning so I can bring the truck in and perform the operation. I hope to get it done in a day, but when it doesn't, I got at least 2 days scheduled and 1 backup day. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going through the pieces that I need for this operation. I'm not missing anything. I'm just not happy that I can't find something that was literally here moments ago. But these are the 2 gaskets. These are old, original OEM, that hold the plenum together. One's at the bottom, one is in between the 2. I bought and got this right here, the Felpro replacement that I plan on using. For the ends, I have the gaskets, and this goes on the end of the rails. These here are old gaskets. Not certain if you can see them, but they've been crushed. And I kept them just in case I needed them. Are going to go into the trash. The number is a 90430-12026. I guess I decided I didn't realize I had these. And so I ordered more. And now I have plenty. Right, that's the part number. Got 2 new ones plus 20 more. So I'll try to remember that I have these next time. I have a box I keep all this stuff in. Literally all kinds of pieces and parts over the years. I do believe this is a gasket if I need for the rail. I bought another gasket for the throttle body, and I'm going to replace the throttle body gasket. I didn't need to do so when I checked it the last time, but since I have 2 extra, what's going to happen is I'm setting one aside and we'll replace that. I mentioned that this is for the, I believe it's for the gasket on the fuel filter that goes into the rail. I'm planning on not using that. Okay, here we go. In this box, you'll see I got from Motor West. It comes with the sticker. You'll have seen something similar. In the bag, I have 3 O-rings, spare O-rings, and the last set of injectors I have are here. They look like they're a little different spare O-rings, but it comes with this and lubrication, superlube.com, and there's a part number 82340. So I have that, and then it comes packaged separately, 3 each fuel injectors. And we'll compare those with the ones that I got last time. They're cleaned, they're installed, and there's a total of 6 of them. And you'll know they're fake if you get them if they're too light, okay? They're heavy. I got some off of eBay, and that's why I got to do the job twice until I ran into this company here. Motor West Performance out in Chatsworth, California, out on the West Coast. All right. You'll see here mine cost $219, which didn't cost that because they have a lifetime replacement. A nice lady, Sylvia, sent this out to me. I got to get them installed and then ship them back, and I'll identify which is the cylinder number 2, which I know is bad. All right. Thanks for watching, and the next part of this video, hopefully you'll see me working on changing the injectors. Okay, I'm here. Step 1, it's not even on here. I removed the skid plate. Let's see, we need to battery disconnect, so let's do that real quick. Okay. Negative side of the terminal removed. Then we want to remove the plenum that's on this side and the air hose. If you look, there's 2 connections, actually 3. This one's broke, I'll have to put it back. And then this needs to come out. Okay. Okay, you push on that, push that in, out it comes.
10 millimeter. One hose. Hose there. See tape over here. Well, never mind. Okay, it's off of here. Oh, I see tape over here too. All right, off, that's later. Okay, here's the breather assembly. Plenum is removed next to disconnect the throttle body cables. Okay, there's one cable. There's two cable. Okay, here's the cruise control cable. 3 are loose. Now, I need to find a cable and loosen all of those. Right, I got 13 through 17. I'm doing the, oh boy. Okay. 14, 14, six wrenches, 3 the same sizes, 14, 13, and 12. did this side. I did the side towards the cable. Twelve. There we go. I'm going to disconnect this vacuum line. Ground and diag port. This is the diag port. I lost the piece that held it together, so I used a tie wrap. There we go. Now you'll see right here, this is a 10mm bolt. Okay. And I got that on there tight because they loosened up on me and my meter started to run erratic. Right, this is the Plenum, 1-2 nuts, 1-2 bolts. I'm going to disconnect, or at least try to, disconnect this little hose here. Okay, got that removed. $12mm nut. Next 12mm nut. $12mm bolt. This connector as well. There's one bolt. Two bolts. Okay, there's a cable here I gotta remove. Let me go look at that. Let me go put these up. All right, if you look at this connector here, hopefully you can see it. You gotta squeeze down and pull, and I did that using this right here. These are Easy Red something buckbill, some type of pliers. Very helpful. They come in two sizes. Let me see why that's still stuck. Okay, let's see. All right, I could get this off. I may have to take off these two hoses, I'm not certain, but it did come all the way off and clear. Here's the metal gasket for it. And this is the original one in the vehicle. Back in 1999. Okay. Now let's see, we got the PCV valve here, or here, or here. Let me try and get that off. Okay, forgot to tell you. I took off these two hoses here. The one up front had the clamp, the one that's bigger doesn't. So this should all come off here now as I loosen up these nuts and bolts. You go set these down. Long one was on the far side. Right, if you take a look, there's one more right back here. Okay, you can see it's loose, so let me go remove it. All right, I needed to pull this cable out of its catch right there. Excuse me, this cable out of its catch. This one I never put back. This bolt was loose right here, but this bolt has to come out. With that disconnected, this relieved, that should come out of this side. I don't see anything else. Where does that go? That appears to go to some hoses. Do I need to remove that? Let me see. Yeah, that's going to have to come out, and that appears to be a 10 millimeter. Okay, I hope you can see that, but yeah, I remember going and getting that. I lost the actual original bolt the last time I was working on this. That was a 10 millimeter. Now it looks like I'm clear. All right, what I want to show you here is the lower plenum mounting. If you take a look here, I flipped this up over in an early scene, but this sits on the lower plenum and bolts into place at two places. Now I'm going to set this aside. On the rear of the plenum, there's a bolt, and I'm going to show you that you have to remove on the back side. You also have to remove a hose. But right here you have two small 10 millimeter bolts that you have to install. Plus there's a series of bolts that have to be installed. There's one nut here, and 3 bolts. And I'm going to show you that right now. See how that's oriented? Here is the lower plenum. Now, the screws on the hose that I flipped up mount in these two right here. Here's 1 and 2. One comes out, the other one you can slide in. Now, to go remove, you have a 10mm bolt here that I showed you, and I want to make sure I kind of get it in the order I had it. Plus, you had the hose that came into here. I showed you two little 10mm bolts that go right here to hold on to the two pieces. Now we're going to go back and look at this one because I forgot to show you this one. This is right here. This is solid mount, and it goes in here. So that's how that plenum is done. The first thing I did once I got that plenum off was to, number one, get some of the 3M painter's tape and tape this over. I'm going to stop the video here and have a part two. I'm going to remove the, well, a few things. First, you remove the fuel injectors, number two. I may do a measurement on that. But disconnect the fuel injectors. Then I'm going to disconnect these 4 bolts and remove the fuel rail. But I need to disconnect back here first and disconnect the hose. I got to follow this hose that comes from the back and disconnect it right here from memories where I have to disconnect it. But I'll have another video for that. This is going to be a 3-parter for sure. Okay. Thanks for watching. This is kind of the end of part 1.